If Chojimi was overly sensitive, there's no way he would have even thought that balance would even enter into the equation. Overly sensitive people don't make room for balance. If you try to give balance to the arguments of a person that is too sensitive or overly sensitive, they refuse your perspective, reject it even, because they are convinced that they're right and everybody else is wrong, because they are awake and everybody else needs to quote unquote wake up or forever remain ignorant. They are so sensitive that there is no room whatsoever for an opposite argument that benefits both parties and sees both sides. When you're dealing with a person that's too sensitive or overly sensitive about a specific topic, their opinion must be above yours and everyone else's opinion that does not align with theirs, because they believe their views to be morally right and politically correct, when in reality they are bereft of common sense, critical thinking, and deductive reasoning. That is the only way that both arguments will be beneficial, is if one is subservient to the other. So I think Chojimi is the right kind of sensitive, the kind that sees that there can be balance. Perhaps even an argument can be made that two things can be true at once. That's more true than generalizing everyone and putting everyone in one group. Chojimi uses the example of a pendulum. I would say it's more like a scale that's never balanced. And honestly, the scales will never be balanced because they view balance as the scale being tipped in their favor, in an argument, in a point of view, in an ideology, in everything basically. So they will never be balanced for a person who's too sensitive and has an unwavering opinion about something. I do agree with Chojimi on the point that he made about Americans coming to the realization of how much of a problem they've been in the world, and that, quote, the want for sensitivity comes from not wanting to make the same mistakes, end quote. So we get loud and call out cultural appropriation and racism and all these other things from both America and Korea, to be honest. However, when you get down to it, both sides are now making the mistake of calling things racist and cultural appropriation and all these other isms and labels that we are slapping on everything, when some of them are actually not any of those things.